Lesson 16, what is? Okay, what is the last crucial important phrase to know in starting to get your Polish learning on a roll. Not only because you want to say things like what is it and what is that and what is there, those kind of things, but also that incredibly useful phrase where you want to say what is house in Polish. Or you hear a Polish word and you want to say, what is kawa in English? So what is that in Polish, or what is this in English? You see that kawa word outside a shop and you say to your Polish friend, what is kawa in English? But of course you already know. So, what is? Let's start with that very basic point. And we've already got is. We know is back to front, so we just need to know what. Which is so. Again, you might hear some teenagers talking to their parents and they'll be going war, and that's like so. Yeah, so you will hear this war as its own individual word. But what is something that we're going to use now in this lesson. Okay, let's look at some examples. Alright, very useful one, what is it? We can just point at something and ask somebody, what is it? For example, if we were on the market and we saw some apples, we might point at the apples and ask the person on the market, what is it? And they would give us the Polish word for apples. Now, this is something where the word order isn't flexible. We have to actually say what it is. What it is. So thinking about saying what it is, how would you say what is it?
Co to jest? Co to jest?
Okay, and what is this or what is that? My clue to you here is it's exactly the same as what is it? Exactly the same. So, what is this or what is that?
Co to jest? Co to jest?
So as we've seen in the past, jest is very flexible, has a number of meanings, and we see here also that this to has a number of meanings. It doesn't just mean it can mean other things. Right, so if we know we've got this kind of word ordering that we can't really move around, we've got this what it is question, or what this is, what that is. That's the way we're asking it in Polish. Have a think, how would you say what is here? What is here? You've turned up somewhere and you're asking what is here, and think of that word order.
Co tu jest? Co tu jest?
Exactly, and it doesn't matter if you use tu or tutaj, they're pretty interchangeable, so either of those. And what is there? Someone suggested going to visit a town. What is there?
Co tam jest? Co tam jest?
Okay, another very useful use for what is this phrase, which sometimes gets translated into what's up, but it's not, and it's a shame that it gets translated into what's up. I mean, that's what you're kind of asking, but literally what it means is what can be heard. Okay, so strange as it sounds, when Polish people meet, they don't often start with the English way of saying, how are you? I am fine. Okay, because how are you is a genuine question and requires a genuine answer. So about all the good things which are going on in your life, all the bad things which are going on in your life, that's how are you? Your mental state, your physical state, that's the question. So instead, when they meet or on the telephone, often the question is this. Let's just listen to it.
Co słychać?
Okay, and we can hear a couple of things here. First of all, we've got this L with a diagonal line through it, which is off that W sound that we came across in zwe, zwa and zwe for bad. So we've got that W sound, the that we know so well from normalny. Do you remember tech? When we were translating tech, we had the CH gives us the that sound. And then the ach, let's just hear it again.
Co słychać? Co słychać?
Okay, and one of the reasons this is so useful to know the real meaning behind the phrase is because a lot of the verbs, which we'll see in a later course, to do with listening, so I hear you, I'm listening, these all are around this kind of word. Okay, so we'll see it coming later, but this great thing about when you're meeting somebody and you're asking them what can be heard, what is of interest to hear, rather than just what's up. Okay, now the most useful vocabulary here is going to be to ask what a certain word is in Polish or what a certain word is in English. Let's start with asking what something is in English. So you've heard a word and you want to know what that word is in English. So we've heard dobre and we want to ask someone in Polish what is that in English. And you see at the top of the screen there, in English is po angielsku. Okay, so that's our phrase for saying in English. So we just need to ask what it is, the word, and then po angielsku.
Co to jest dobry po angielsku? Co to jest dobry po angielsku?
Alright, let's ask somebody what is tutaj in English, okay? And maybe we'll get finally the truth about what it really means. What is tutaj in English?
Co to jest tutaj po angielsku? Co to jest tutaj po angielsku?
Alright, and we've completely forgotten what the word is for Jen, what that actually means, even though we're using it all day, but not in the evening and not to say goodnight. But we've completely forgotten, so let's ask what is Jen in English.
Co to jest dzień po angielsku? Co to jest dzień po angielsku?
Okay, very similar setup when we're asking what is something in Polish. So if you have a friend who's got quite a good level of English, they will be able to help you out with filling in the kind of vocabulary that you need. Because although Google Translate is good and dictionaries are good, it's only a Polish person who really knows how the language is commonly used. So let's ask what is white in Polish? What is white in Polish?
Co to jest white po polsku? Co to jest white po polsku?
What is house in Polish? What is house in Polish?
Co to jest house po polsku? Co to jest house po polsku?
And now let's ask one that we know but we've forgotten. What is bad in Polish? What is bad in Polish?
Co to jest bad po polsku? Co to jest bad po polsku?
Okay, so what is it house in Polish is a pretty basic way to be asking for something. Obviously in English you wouldn't say the same. In English you would say something like, how would you say house in Polish, or some more elegant phrasing. And of course that's how in fluent Polish things would be phrased. But at the moment we're in that survival Polish, we're in that building up what we know and putting into practice what we know. So if somebody came up to you and said, what is dom in English? You would, and if you knew what that meant, you would understand what is it, even though it's not very elegant English. So this co to jest is perfect for starting to build your vocabulary and asking questions.